Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to FabScraps card making project number 31. Today we're going to be using the Family Blessings collections from FabScraps. Everything I do use I should put in a detailed list on my blog, so please be sure to check it out. I'll also include lots of extra photos as well. Now you can get your hands on your own Fab-Box with the Family Blessings collection. All the details again are on my blog. It is a beautiful collection, so check it out. Check out the unboxing that I recorded a few weeks ago. That's on the blog as well. It's lovely to hear from you, and it's lovely to hear your comments about the Family Blessings collection. It is so pretty, and I think everything we make using it is just so beautiful, and I don't think you can go wrong with it, whether you're a card maker or a scrapbooker or you're journaling, etc. So please have a look and let me know what you think. It's always great if you give me the thumbs up on the videos. I don't ask enough, but it is nice to know that you enjoy them, and by giving me the thumbs up that I can see that. So without further ado, please sit back, relax, and let's have a look at today's gorgeous card making project. So we're using our Family Blessings collection from FabScraps again for this gorgeous card, and we're going to start with a 7x5" card in ivory, and all I'm going to do is use my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp crease along the edge. On the back of the card I've used my handmade by stamp that I use on all my projects. I've added my name, and that will show the recipient who's made the card for them if you give your card away. As always, we're going to create the inside first. Now I think this card is going to look quite complicated, but in actual fact, after following the steps, it's really easy. So the inside of the card, for the base layer, I've taken a piece of ivory cardstock and I've used a doily die from my own stash, and I've just stenciled a little bit of colour from just using the die basically, and I've added colour in the corners and part of the centre, and that's going to match the design on the front. So just kind of think about what you're using and think about how you can utilise it. And I've just used a pink ink pad. I've got 3D, I've got flat tape on the back, so I can peel the back of it away. And you'll see that it just fits inside the inside of our card, like that. So I can press that down. Then I've used the Family Blessings cardstock to create just a kind of frame and layer. Now I've got to be honest, in last week's tutorial I used scalloped edges on the front of the card. This is the little bits of scallop that was left. Normally they'd probably go in the bin, or they'd go in that big box that you save for later. But I thought, no, I'm going to use them straight away because I think they really work with this project. You don't have to, use a scalloped edge. You could just mat and layer it. So these were simply used by using a scallop punch. And as I say, we used the full length of the layer on the actual card front, but I just had some bits left. So I've simply just added those just on the back. And then I've got flat tape on the back of this. So I'm going to add this to the inside of our card, just to one side where we've not stenciled. So just to that section there, and press it down. Then I've taken a piece of ivory cardstock and I've just added a rubber stamp of my own, and it just says F is for friend, you're one of the best. I collect, there's a certain kind of stamps I collect, and I say certain kind, they're like dictionary stamps or stamps with meanings on, and I like those, and this is some that I got last year, and it's very rare that I use them, but I thought this worked for this card. So I've just used a brown stays on ink for that as well. And I've just highlighted the edges with a pink ink. So that sits on there nicely. Now, because we've stenciled, there's enough space on the side to write your message. You don't have to worry about writing over what you've stenciled. It's all flat, there's nothing raised up, even though it does look as though it is. So that's the inside of our card. Now we can complete the front of our card. So I'm just going to use my bone folder again to make sure that that edge is still nice and sharp. And the first layer for the outside of our card is from the Family Blessings collection, and it's from the extra cardstock. I've got flat tape on the back of it, and I'm using the lighter green side for this layer. And I'm just going to add it. I've cut it, I think it's roughly, it's 6.8 as I cut it on my trimmer instead of the 7. So it's 6.8 and 4.8. And that gives me a great base layer. Next, I've trimmed some of the flowers away from the paper. It was a paper edge that I had that I thought, oh no, it's going to go for scrap. But I don't want it to because it's got these gorgeous flowers on. So I'm going to use those just in one corner. And it just kind of shows you how it all works together. So I'm just going to add them in the top corner. They're on flat tape, so they'll sit nice and flat on the card. Next, we saw the doily that had a cut that I used for the stencil, and this is just from my own stash. Now, I'll tell you for why that I'm using it in a certain way, because it's not die cut 100%. I've cut it out and it's torn as I've been poking the little bits out. I've torn it. And I thought, oh, I don't want to have to die cut it again. So I've just added tape at one side, and I'm going to simply add it just off centre, like that. And so this part isn't stuck down, and this part is the side that's die cut nicely. And this bit, I've torn it in a place, and it hasn't poked through, and you'll be just the same with some at home. But it just goes to show, just because it's not die cut perfect all over, you can still use parts of it. And I've die cut, I've used the, it's like a beige cardstock, a natural cardstock that's in the Family Blessings collection. I've cut a layer of the dark green extra cardstock. You can see it's the same as the base, but on reverse it's darker. I've got it on 3D foam, and I'm just simply going to put it half over our doily, like so, and press it down. I've then taken one of the embellishment sayings, I've cut it out just with scissors to the edge. I've got 3D foam on the back, and I'm just going to add that over the top of our previous layer, so it's got a layered effect. Next, I've die cut 3, now they're flags or swallowtails, whatever you're happy calling them. I've used a Family Blessings paper, and at one side I've got flat tape on them, and at the other side I've got 3D foam. And I'm simply going to just position these towards the edge of the card, and they can run through the centre of the doily. They're in no particular, I'm not trying to position them in any way, but you can see how they just sit nicely to the edge of the card. Next, I've die cut, I've used this die before, it's called Coral, and it just cuts a very fine, it's like, it is like coral, but I like to use it as greenery. It's really nice. I've used the same green cardstock from the Family Blessings collection, and I've got a little bit of tape on there, and I'm just going to add that slightly over the actual swallowtails at the end. Next, I've taken some of the papers and I've made some paper flowers. Now, we've made paper flowers many a time, I've made large poppy, I've made some rolled roses and a fancy edge rolled rose. So there's just 4 flowers there. I'm going to use my silicone glue to add them, and this is just a 3D glue that's clear and it's quite thick, and I'm simply going to position the flowers over the top of the coral like so, just adding a little bit of glue as I go, and then the last flower just between those two. And to finish the card off, I've just cut out some extra roses, again like the background, just a bit extra that I had on the desk, and I thought, you know what, I am not going to waste those, and I'm thinking they're going to look good over the top of the actual embellishment sentiment. And that is our card finished. Quick and easy and just so pretty. You can see the layers in there and the flowers, and we've hardly used anything for the background, and it matches perfectly to the outside. Stands up beautifully. It will definitely go on a mantelpiece. And if you're going to write to me about the depth of the flowers and how you find an envelope, use flatter flowers. Or I did do a video a couple of Christmases ago about a 3D box and how to create something to actually put your cards in when you've made 3D flowers. That would work perfectly to make your own box. So please check that out. Check out my blog because there's going to be so many more photos on there, and I'll take photos of the inside and the outside just to remind you how it looks, and the item details as well. And don't forget to, you know, if it's still available, get hold of your Family Blessings collection because it is so beautiful and so pretty. I would just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.